What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Kind of Funny Games Reactions here at Kind of Funny. I'm Barrett Courtney, one of your resident Batman fanboys here, Kind of Funny. And here joined with me is the future class of video games, the king of Halloween and a celebrator of Donktober, Blessing Adeoye Jr. And joined with us is the Dark Knight of GameSpot, Timur Hussein. Timur, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm very excited for some Batman-related content.
Yeah. Blessing, how are you doing today on this fine Saturday?
I'm doing good. You know, I'm still recovering in my health, but I'm very excited about this. Gotham Knights. We haven't seen much from Gotham Knights in a year, I guess now, because it was at the last DC Fandome where you saw Gotham Knights get revealed, and so very excited to see what this Court of Owls story trailer is all about. Hopefully, we get some Court of Owls content.
Yeah. So
my prediction.
Big prediction here. Court of Owls content here. So yeah, if you don't know, DC Fandome was happening this weekend. We did not do a live stream reacting to it because we knew it was going to be a handful of trailers, but a lot of interviews in between all of those. So we wanted to spend as much time with our Saturday, especially in San Francisco, where it is beautiful, sunny, and pretty hot out today. So yeah, I believe, Tam, you've already watched through DC Fandome. I believe you've seen these trailers already, but we're glad to have you here because you're another expert Batman fan, and so I'm excited to kind of react to this with y'all and get some expert takes from Timur himself.
I would say that Timur is our oracle.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I like that, especially even within the context of our Metal Gear Solid streams. Timur has been giving like all of us the
Timur's
expert info.
Always that man in the chair that knows all the info, that can supply us with anything we need to know, and so it's awesome to have you here.
All right, well, without further ado, shall we watch the first Gotham Knights trailer that we've gotten in, like Blessing said, a year?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm so excited. I'm not ready, but I hope y'all are ready because I need y'all to be ready for me.
I'm ready. I'm ready for you.
I'm super ready. I've been craving a Batman game for a while now.
Batman.
Because it's been so long.
Jim Gordon. They thought they had a handle on this city. They never did. You don't stand a chance.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're always watching. Always listening. Pulling everybody's strings. Mine. Yours. But no one talks about them. Not a whispered word is said.
The Court of Owls is a myth.
They're listening.
Oh, baby.
Oh, God.
There they are.
Masks.
Oh, God, the secret, bases, the secret meetup spots. Oh, my gosh.
Looking bad for Jason.
Oh, man. Oh, God, all the talents. Oh, why is she wearing it?
What's going on?
Oh, the
Big boy.
If you really want to go down this rabbit hole, you need to know there's no coming back from it.
It's a strong trailer.
It's a very strong trailer.
Damn.
That's a very strong trailer.
God damn. 2022. They're keeping with it. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Still no specific release date, though.
Still no specific release date.
Yeah.
As we know, the last year's DC Fandome, they had slated it for 2021. Of course, continued development for games, especially with the continued times with working from home for a lot of places. Development predictably kind of slowed down, but I'm glad that they're sticking with 2022. We'll see, when it actually hits, if it actually hits. But that was that was such a good tonal trailer, I would say. Like, I feel like we got a good amount of Court of Owls like content in here, but I feel like there's like less shown, like even like gameplay wise. Like we got that like 7-minute like gameplay walkthrough last year, but this was such a good tone setter.
Interesting that Bruce and Jim are dead.
Yeah.
So like the kind of two main bastions of truth and justice in Gotham are no longer there, which like really interesting way to set the stage for the rest of the Bat family to have free reign and also kind of define how law enforcement works within the industry,
and like
within the
within
city.
this kind of like next like a generation into defending Gotham, right? Like I kind of we got a little bit. I think Bruce in that like original reveal trailer last year had said, you know, we can't trust GCPD ever since Jim has been gone and stuff like that. So we knew that Jim like had also kicked the bucket. And so, yeah, I do think it's interesting of like the kind of like the two kind of tentpoles that we know of like as the defense of Gotham are both gone, which I actually quite enjoy even further into like where this is going to go for the Bat family and stuff like that. I also love that, you know, we got a little bit of a Penguin sighting here.
I was gonna ask, like, for you two who are super into the Batman comics and super into the Court of Owls story, what is the deal with Penguin? Is Penguin kind of on the neutral side of things, or is this
Penguin?
Yeah, so like
what's his role?
So yeah, at least in the original run for Court of Owls in the New 52 run, Penguin, as far as I know, like didn't have any association with them. I don't think he's even originally like in that story. I think it's interesting that like he has maybe not like an in, but like some knowledge of them, and like he knows that they're watching.
Like they're coming to him begrudgingly. It seems.
Yeah, I mean, like it does make sense given that he is a bird.
Yeah, like but I was gonna point that out. Of like it's all like bird related, right? And you know, there's like in the original like comic run, it's always like there's like this thematic like back and forth between like, you know, like owls are like the predators of bats and stuff like that, and like how that kind of like reflects on the story itself. And so I think it's interesting that they're including another bird related character here to like give us information on the court.
I do wonder if there's a major shakeup that has happened, because when they talked about Jim being dead, my natural kind of instinct was, oh, they'll need still someone from the law enforcement side. And like if I had to place a bet, it maybe like Renee Montoya would be pretty high on that list.
Oh yeah.
But it could be a case where like the state of where Gotham is so fundamentally shaken up that Penguin's in a different alignment now, where he could be like working with the Bat family to kind of, you know, because Penguin does what's best for Penguin, and in his mind maybe he's taken enough of a beating from these lot to believe, I know that this is a worse thing than me, and if I want to be in a good spot when this is over, I should. Because the Court of Owls aren't going to give a shit about Penguin. They see themselves as superior to everyone.
Exactly.
So from Penguin's perspective, he is unlikely to come out on top in a alignment or like in a relationship with the Court of Owls. Whereas if he sides with the team that keeps whooping his ass, maybe he'll be in a better situation when they finish.
And like, I could see him like trying to look at like where. If like the Court of Owls take over, is he really going to benefit from, you know, them fully taking over the city? And of course, from the comic run, the whole concept of the Court of Owls, they're this like secret, almost Illuminati like organization that has secretly been running Gotham since the inception of Gotham for hundreds of years. And it's it was a story that really shook Batman to his core, because for years we've known Gotham as Batman City, and it was such a great story to kind of flip that on its head and to show that like there's still so much unknown about this city, and to like kind of convince Bruce and Batman and the Bat family that they, even though they've been around for so long and have faced so many villains, that, you know, they've only scratched the surface. And so I find that very interesting, that's something that maybe not. And we know, like, they've been saying, like, Bruce is dead. We'll see if that's actually true, right? But I think it's interesting that, you know, we'll, instead of seeing that kind of story through Bruce's eyes, we're going to see it through, you know, his Bat family, and having them probably get shaken by, like, what they're, like, this kind of secret enemy that has always kind of been under the surface here. And yeah, as you were pointing out, Jason Todd does not seem to be in a good spot here with, you know, like, the kind of core like higher ups of the Court of Owls like surrounding this bird cage, and he's trapped in the middle here.
He's trapped in the middle with what looks like a member of the court.
Yeah, which
so
I found
I
interesting.
wonder if someone like snitched or turned on them, or if it's just like someone that Jason's taken hostage, and this is a particularly vicious showing of violence.
Yeah.
So it does look like he's tied up.
Yeah, it looks like
this looks like he
so
got him.
I wonder if like they're punishing this member, or maybe even if like this isn't even a member, but this is someone that they put a mask on and they're using as bait to get Jason to like save this person, or like think that they are a member or something like that, and then sacrifice both of them. And it seems like there's this. I'm trying to figure out like what's at the bottom of this pit here. It's more of an orangey glow, so I don't know if they're being dropped into like a vat of like lava or something like that. My first instinct, of course, was maybe getting dropped down into the labyrinth, which is a big kind of moment in the Court of Owls series where Batman gets stuck in this huge maze for I think it's like a few weeks, right, Tam?
Yeah.
And that's like such a pivotal thing where you see probably Bruce Wayne at one of his lowest moments in any of the comics, and it's such like I think it would be such a great device for a video game of like how scary that experience could be with like a player like controlling that experience. I think would be really cool. Not entirely convinced that's what this is, but it's still an idea that I would love to throw out there.
Yeah, that's a big moment in the comments. It'd be interesting to see how they go about that, right? Because gameplay wise, that is probably a tough thing to try and convey in a way that is actually fun to pick up and play. But you know, if that's a big thing, then there's going to be some way that they try to adapt that.
I think there could be a lot of fun ways to adapt it to like really like you really feel like Bruce is going insane in those moments. And so like I feel like there's a way to like really pull that off. And then we see like all of the Talons, which is like kind of like the army side of the Court of Owls, the warrior side of the Court of Owls, where not to get into specific details for anybody who haven't like super read like who the Talons are specifically, but it seems like they are being waken up from their chambers. A little bit of like a different look here. Like they've got like these bandages around them. I don't know if that's like them just interpreting like what their costumes looks like from the comics and stuff like that. And you see a bunch of them running around. Of course, there's like that moment where they tried to all take over Wayne Manor in the city of Owls, which is like a really great moment. Not sure if that's where they're at here. Of course, like Wayne Manor's been was caved in from a sinkhole, which is the explanation of why Bruce Wayne died. Again, we'll see if that's actually true. This is interesting right here of Batgirl wearing the Court of Owls mask here. What do you think's going on here, Tam?
Yeah, it's because they do corrupt people and try and turn them into Talons. And I wonder if this is a case of they got to Barbara, or if it's a case of Barbara's infiltrating using some
and it does
subterfuge.
like if we look at her surroundings here, this could be a labyrinth type of situation. With
so
like the walls and stuff going on here.
Yeah, the thing about the labyrinth was like it could be in there, but it's also very constructed. It's like a form of like torture that was very focused on Bruce Wayne specifically, because it undermined everything he thought he was and what he knew, and it represented them reflecting and turning his world upside down.
It was them trying to convince him of their story of that, like, they have always been bigger than him. They have always owned Gotham, and he only found them because they let him find them, you know?
Yeah, and like if they were to use that same kind of trick again, I think the only one that it would really conceivably work on is Barbara. Like I don't think Jason gives a shit, and the other two would be like, well, big little whatever. But like Barbara seems like her faith in the city and her because knowledge is her power as well. So like undermining that using the labyrinth could be something,
especially because they've also like even from a gameplay standpoint, they've teased that Barbara might play like the most familiar out of all of the characters, so like that might lean a little bit into story as well. Like she might be a little more closer to like Bruce and like how they see the city and things like that, and like their experiences. I love the mural going on here. Everything's like really haunting, and I think they're truly like nailing like the kind of the haunting nature of the Court of Owls. Now this seems to be some sort of that might be Wayne Manor, but we've got some underground cave going on here.
Barbara without her cape there.
Oh wait, really? Hold on. When she kicks open that door. There's something right behind her.
Is that right behind her?
Yeah, it looks like it. Maybe it's like the physics
that could
or something.
Be her right arm. Wait, actually play it in motion because it looked like it might have been waving in the wind.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, that
waving.
was a cape,
It's
that
hard
was
to
a
tell.
cape.
It might
Okay.
be like tucks behind her
Yeah.
for some reason. Maybe that's her like how she wears it
Ooh,
indoor.
no.
We got like an above shot here. We've got like Court of Owls on the screen here. Maybe the night that they're trying to take.
It's a nice
over
background.
Yeah, this is
on
like
his
a
computer.
really like great shot right here with the red contrasting with
Yeah.
like the dark black. Like, is this maybe Alfred? Is this the Batcave? Like before maybe like because my theory, right, is like they're blaming the death of Bruce Wayne on a sinkhole that happens underneath Wayne Manor. Of course, we know that the Batcave is beneath Wayne Manor, so like my guess is that like the Court of Owls like try to blow up the Batcave, because my guess and like the way that they're gonna try to interpret this story is that the Court of Owls have decided like they're gonna use this one night to take over Gotham City, and the first step is to take out who they think is probably their greatest foe, which is Batman. So I imagine like they blow up the cave. That sends out the signal to the rest of the Bat family, like, "Hey, I am most likely dead. You guys gotta take care of Gotham now."
Yeah, this is Alfred. This does look like the Court of Owls are sending him a message, right? Of like, hey, we're here, like Illuminati style, like don't fuck with us.
Yeah,
Because they are technically operating out of the Belfry, right? So
that's true.
So I wonder. I do want to know what happens to Alfred. They need to show what happens to Alfred, because if Bruce is gone, like Alfred doesn't just go on vacation. Like he needs to be around.
And
so
yeah, it's
I
like,
wonder
was
if that's the
Alfred
case.
with him in the Batcave, or is Alfred going to be helping out in the Belfry? Like,
Or is Alfred taken hostage and
Oh.
they have him, which is like obviously like the only people that care about Alfred more than Bruce is the rest of the Bat. I mean, probably more because he is their surrogate father in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So if that could be one of the kind of inciting incidents that pushes them to seek out the Court of Owls.
Yeah, that's true. And then we see like the bat signal being destroyed or something here, burning out, which is almost reminiscent to hold on, because this is just like a great moment here. While Batman in the comics is trapped in the labyrinth for about a week, they keep the bat signal on the entire time because they know that Batman's missing, but they keep it on the entire time as a reminder of like, hey, like there's other people out there who fight alongside Batman who are still fighting out there, and it's like a thing of hope for them, and it's a reminder for citizens out there like that there are others trying to help, and it's a reminder for criminals out there that there are still people out there who are filling in for Batman, right? And there's a point where it kind of like, because they keep it on for so long, it like sets ablaze and they have to like take it out, and Damian Wayne, Bruce's son, pops up and he's like, replace it, like get a new one, like we need a new one right now.
A new one.
It's so good. I don't think Damian's in this game, but I
sadly
imagine,
not.
Yeah, I imagine they could play with something like that in a different context in this game.
Do you recognize the voice actor for Penguin? The voice is very different for Penguin.
No, I did not recognize.
Wait, actually, can you play with audio, because I thought I recognized it a little bit.
I think you will get it. I think you will get it.
If you really want to go down this rabbit hole, you need to know there's no coming back from it.
I know this voice. I know this voice for sure. Tell me who it is.
It's Elias Tofexis, JC Denton from
Deus Ex. Yes.
Deus Ex. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I thought I recognized it. I was like, shit, this sounds really familiar. That's really cool.
Yeah. He tweeted a gif of a penguin.
That's awesome.
So I seen that. It's a really interesting choice for that. Like when I first heard it, I was like, that sounds more like a Batman voice actor than a Penguin voice actor. And then my brain was like, what if they're pulling some shit? And if it at the end is like, Penguin was Batman, it was Bruce the entire time, and he like uncrouches and like
he stands up.
I mean, here's the wild thing.
Out.
From the same run of the Court of Owls story, the New 52, and Batman Zero Year, Bruce Wayne does disguise himself as the Penguin to meet up with the Red Hood at some point, and you don't think it's him. And like it's just like this wild moment where he does do like the uncrouch and he like gets really big, and you're like,
oh my god,
what the hell just happened? So
there's a decent chance that this could be a thing where
that'd be fucked up.
Some substitute, but then also like let's not forget that Batman has used Clayface to get some schemes done, because Clayface has a flip where he becomes a good character, and like fights alongside the family and becomes like a ally to Batman and gets used in situations. So that might be a Clayface voice, and this is actually someone else. I don't know.
A lot of things
This is
to
like
theorize.
wild speculating.
Like,
Yeah.
I like the really cool tonal piece. I still don't think we got like a whole lot that makes me exponentially more excited for this game. Like I've already been really excited. I'm ready to get back into Gotham in a video game setting. So I'm ready for 2022 whenever this game releases. There's also another trailer, a behind the scenes trailer that aired during DC Fandome. Do we want to check out that out? It's only 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Let it play.
Yeah, let's
Just
go.
roll. Oh god, I'm so excited for this.
One of the joys of writing comics is the hope
The
that
goal.
someone
Man.
will take that story and make it something
Scott
their
Snyder.
own. And I think the folks at Warner Brothers have done a tremendous job translating and evolving the Court of Owls into the game.
The fans, they cosplay as these characters. They're hungry
other
for
girl.
more.
Boy.
So here you are getting
Oh
to
my
play out
gosh.
that,
Look at that shirt.
conflict in a game
That
itself.
shirt's dope. Oh my
I found a link for it, so if you want it, I can send it to you.
hell yeah.
I remember taking this walk around New York City to my old neighborhood. Nothing I knew was there anymore. All of the people I had known had moved
that's-
away.
that shot right there
all of
behind
the
him.
stores were gone. The feeling was so unsettling, and I wanted to craft a story that would make Bruce Wayne feel the way I felt.
The first time I read that story, I was just blown away because they were creating this really rich secret history of Gotham City, very plausible, believable, that was in direct opposition to Batman.
I think probably the inspiration for the Court of Owls originates from nature, just by the real fact that the owl is a natural predator to the bat.
What an owl does a lot of the time is it hunts you and it stalks you without you seeing it, and the fun of the way that the court goes after Bruce is to watch him from
Such a good
afar
arc.
for years.
Because it's been something that's been in Gotham for so long and been so powerful, and right beneath Batman's nose, I think that's the root of the
Capullo is such
success
a
there.
He's such a great artist.
Powerhouse, isn't he?
One of the biggest challenges with bringing the Court of Owls from comic books to video games is really the interactive nature of what video games are.
How do
Let's
you
go,
take
Anne.
that history, how do you take this cool imagery and bring it to life in a game that's very satisfying?
We could look at the source material, we could talk to the creators, and we could ask their opinions about that. We could say, which of these elements do you think we can translate?
When I went out there to see what they were doing with the game, I was blown away. I mean, it took
Oh,
what
look
we
at
had
the
done
frame.
with Court of Owls,
Look at the
but
frame.
it just
He's got one of the most
elevated it
iconic
beyond a lot
shots
of
from
the
that run.
borders
Right
that we
behind
had
him,
had.
behind him.
You can't really rely on what you think you know about the court. We have expanded, we have added to it.
There are different varieties of Talons in Gotham Knights. And as the players begin to understand through gameplay the unique strengths and vulnerability of the Talon, it will affect how they equip themselves and how they unlock new abilities. So like any good
Different
RPG,
Talon
we're presenting you
class
with a
types.
problem,
Yes.
and then we're presenting you with a range of potential solutions, and players will have an opportunity to kind of maximize that according to their own style.
The entire team has worked so hard on this and put so much love and dedication into
Oh,
this,
I
and I
think
really
that's
hope it comes
100%
through and
the
it
Labyrinth.
gives them a really enjoyable
Yeah,
experience.
that's what I was
I
thinking.
can't
It looks
wait
like
for us to
Labyrinth.
share more information about this game.
But watch out for those deadly talons, because they are sharp. Be careful.
I love Capullo so much.
Capullo's
Him
so
and
good.
Scott Snyder is so fucking great.
What a team.
That was awesome.
There we go. I love like them, like how much they've been involved in like just talking to the developers here, and
Yeah.
you know, like WB Montreal, I think like understand the important parts of like what makes Batman and what makes Gotham and stuff like that. And I'm excited for them to play around in a video game universe that's fully theirs, right? Because like you know, a lot of people have different thoughts and feelings about Arkham Origins. And I'm excited for them to like fully have something of their own that they can kind of build from the ground up in their own gameplay style and like however they want it to be, and not be tied to a universe that they didn't like they weren't in like full control of, right? And so it's so exciting to see where they're gonna go with this. I have full trust in however they're going to adapt this story, and like seeing how excited like Scott and Greg Capullo are, and all of that team. It's so exciting. And yeah, as we see here behind Scott Snyder, it's like one of the iconic shots from the Court of Owls run, which again, if you have not read, I highly recommend reading the Court of Owls run with both the Court of Owls and the City of Owls. Go pick them up at your local comic book stores. Support your local comic book stores, because God knows that they need it.
My question for you, Barrett, is what are the chances that at some point we get to meet a character called William Cobb who helps us out? because I feel like this is the great, because they're showing off different types of talons, and they talk about how they expanded all that kind of stuff. They've like worked on the mythos and built it out a bit more. I feel like because there's one talent that exists that becomes a kind of new character within the DC universe as the Talon.
Right.
So I think they're going to take the opportunity to introduce William Cobb in this game.
Yeah, I could see that. And is that are they the one that's also in the that's not the one like running for mayor, right? That's a different character.
I think that's a different character, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah,
like, I could fully
feel
see them going with the William Cobb route, especially because of like the main Talon in the Court of Owls run. I don't think would make as much sense to do in this story, especially with not like having Bruce being like the main character here. So I could totally see them going down the William Cobb.
Yeah,
route.
because I feel like they need someone on the inside. And having William Cobb as your insider, your throat goat, for want of a better phrase, is could be a way to kind of create that interesting new entry point for another character that people that is like more of a nod towards like people who stuck with the comics for a while and like followed the lineage of Court of Owls forward. Right. That could be cool.
The last thing I wanted to point out before we wrap up here is like I think just like the imagery here, like the walls and just like the kind of environment going on around here, like especially with like the bat signal and what was it like running around here, like I think these are like all in like the same area, and I think that I do think this is Batgirl having her run through the labyrinth, and like it's probably an attempt at an initiation and like trying to convince her of like no longer believing in Batman since like he's left her behind or something like that. Like I think that'd be a really cool route to take it. So I don't know, we'll see. Any last thoughts? Any questions from either Tam or Bless here?
Yeah, I was gonna add to like that thing that you just said, like this also kind of strikes me, this maze thing, it also kind of strikes me as the stand-in for like the Scarecrow moments, like the fear toxin moments.
Right.
Like this could be something which they have that element of, it's like an iconic part of the Arkham series or the Batman games, and this could be an interesting way for WB Montreal to put their own spin on that idea.
Right, of like having this like very daunting experience that is frightening, makes you feel like you're not fully in control of like what is going on around you and stuff like that. Yeah, I think this could be like kind of their moment, is like I could see it in the future, and again, we'll have to wait and see like fully with what this game is about. Like I could see us talking about like in years' time of like how great was like the labyrinth, and like people talking about like that as like a set piece. So like people talk about the Scarecrow kind of moments from Arkham Asylum and stuff like that. Yeah, I could totally see that. Blessing, any questions from you? I know you're a novice when it comes to reading like Batman comics, but I do know you enjoy the games and watch the movies and stuff like that.
This has been a fun convo to mostly listen to, just because when I come to these games, I'm coming more so for the gameplay experience along with the story and all that stuff. But this trailer being a specifically story trailer and very much a tonal piece, I think this is a really good trailer for that. And the fact that we've gotten so much conversation out of just this trailer and me hearing about what the labyrinth is, who these twin characters are, and the role that the Penguin may or may not play in this, I think that makes this trailer a really good trailer. And for me, I think this does a really good job of setting the tone and making me excited for a story that I'm going to be jumping into for the first time through this game, just based off of what you guys have said and what it looks like. I'm even more excited for this game now.
Yeah.
So
I wish we got some more gameplay. Like I really liked what we saw last year. It was a little rough around the edges with like presentation of like, it was like an early build and like
it's interesting because
stuff like
I feel like this is almost like the flip, right? Where usually a lot of the time we will get like a story trailer or a cinematic trailer first, and then that is followed up with a deep dive gameplay trailer. And in this case, we got it the other way around. But
we got the announcement trailer that was like 2 minutes last year, and then we got like the 7-minute walkthrough
deep dive gameplay. And then we got this, and so like I think they know what they're doing. This feels to me like they're pretty confident in what they have, and like it being slated for 2022, I think is exciting, and hopefully we see it sooner than later. I don't know, and we're gonna do the Suicide Squad trailer reacts after this, and so I've not seen it yet. Maybe the dates in that, who knows? But if they're both next year, I mean, you know, it's gonna be an exciting year for Batman content. If Suicide Squad is 2023, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody watching this reaction today, what do you want from Gotham Knights? Are you excited? What do you think the Penguin is up to? Do you really think that the Penguin might be secretly Bruce Wayne? Leave your comments in the leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you are looking for more Batman content, of course, you can check out the first episode of the Arkham Files, which is all about why Batman Arkham Asylum is still a masterclass in design today. And on Monday is the 10-year anniversary of Batman Arkham City, and we're doing a full-on celebration all day with that. Snowbike Mike and myself are going to be streaming all day on twitch.tv/KindaFunnyGames after Games Daily, playing through the entirety of Batman Arkham City, and at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, the second episode of the Arkham Files will premiere, and that will be all about Arkham City and why it is the best at making you truly feel like Batman. Any last thoughts? Anything else before we say our final goodbyes?
Give it to me. Let me play it.
Agreed.
Thank you so much, Tam and Bless, for joining me. And also, we will have a react to Suicide Squad, hopefully going up as soon as possible, alongside our Gotham Knights reactions. So stay tuned for that. But until next time, look out for the Talon.